Hi guys, this is Paul with Tweaktown. We're here at Flash Memory Summit 2014. We're sitting down with Ryan Smith. He's the Senior Manager of SSD Product Marketing at Samsung. Last time we spoke to you at Storage Visions, we kind of had some things in the works with Samsung and new emerging technologies, and one of those was the 3-bit MLC, which is commonly referred to as TLC. Starting to see a lot more of that. You guys have actually deployed that into the data center and made it a usable product. Can you give us a few words on the TLC product?
Yeah, sure. I mean, we launched TLC first in the PC space, did really, really well there. We built on that success, came out with a TLC SSD last year, and we came out with their second generation this year. And we're actually shipping more TLC SSDs, TLC-based SSDs, than any other technology now. So it's really successful. I mean, the vertical integration that Samsung has, we make our own NAND, make our own controller, DRAM, the firmware, all of that allows us to really exploit all the benefits that you can get from TLC and still offer an enterprise-class performance and quality of service that the data center expects. So TLC is doing really, really well within the data center.
And there is a lot of focus on value. Everybody's looking for lower TCO and lower CapEx. And some of that kind of expands into a product that was just announced this morning, as a matter of fact. It's the SM623. And this is a value SAS product, but what's important is the nanometer. Can you give us some words on that?
Yeah, so the SM1623, what's really different about this drive is that we're offering you a SAS interface. So what people want SAS for, sometimes it's performance, but it's actually more about high availability. In other words, having dual ports to the drive, having redundancy all the way down to the drive in your storage subsystem. And so one of the problems that has existed is that there's been people that want to deploy SAS-based SSDs, but all the SAS SSDs were focused on really the high-end market, looking at like the 25 write per day, the 10 write per day type category, which are inherently more expensive. So what people were doing is buying SATA-based SSDs with MLC technology in there, very cost-effective type solutions, and putting on SAS bridging cards on the front. And so they, instead of doing that though, what they would really want is for MLC with SAS on the front. And that allows them to get that dual-ported nature. It allows them to have that MLC type of endurance that they want, but then also just have native SAS all the way through and not have a bottlenecked design where that bridging technology will actually slow down performance. So this is really allowing people to truly exploit SAS and what its capabilities are.
I think one of the advantages of vertical integration also kind of ties into the 3D NAND with the kind of the accelerated roadmap that Samsung has had. You guys were 24 layer in 2013, and then in 2014 you're jumping up to 32 layer.
Right.
And that happened in an accelerated pace of time that most people really didn't foresee that coming. You guys ramping up that fast.
Yeah.
Can you give me some knowledge on how you guys are doing this and how it provides you an advantage?
Yeah, and so, as you said, we launched V-NAND about a year ago, and we're making rapid innovation where we're adding more layers. Just talked yesterday about putting 3 bits now into V-NAND as well. So one of the things we did with V-NAND is we took baby steps before we went big, if you will. And what we did is we launched V-NAND into the first SSD in the world that had V-NAND technology, our SV843. Had great success there. One of the things that we did with that is we exploited the advantages of V-NAND, which are higher endurance, lower power, really great performance. And so we put that into a drive that we thought can really use that, and that was the SV843. So that drive had 3.6 writes per day. Most of the market doesn't need 3.6 writes per day. And so what we did is we said, how could we take V-NAND to the next step? And we said, what if we put more bits inside V-NAND and lower the endurance back down to what the market is set for? What do they need? But in doing so, we can actually bring lower costs. So V-NAND is allowing us to not only offer all these great benefits that has been talked about in great detail, now it's allowing us to lower the costs even further for even more adoption of SSDs. That's what I'm excited about, is it's not just physically what we're doing, it's on the software end, that side, and actually helping lower costs for our users. So.
And there's always going to be different segments, and now we're even looking at different interfaces. We were talking about SATA drives, we also have SAS drives. You guys are also working, or have been in the NVMe space. You can give us some words about some of your NVMe offerings?
Sure. Sure. Yeah, Samsung was actually the first NVMe drive in the world, and we partnered with Dell on that with the R920 and the R720, some other PowerEdge series. So that drive is out there and shipping right now, and so that XS17 is a great drive, really high performance, kind of that what people think of as PCIe drives. That's really what that drive is about. You know, really high throughput, high performance. So you're talking about 700,000 IOPS. I mean, that's a lot of IOPS to get out of a single drive. Back when I was in the RAID system days, when I was in that space, we weren't even producing whole racks of storage that were able to do that. So I mean, it's just crazy that you can have one drive that is doing that same kind of performance. But that just ages us, I guess, when we talk about stuff like that. But anyway, that in itself is not that exciting to me, because it's already a market that's being played in, and now we're basically commoditizing what was once a proprietary market. There was only players that would have some software, custom software that they would sell with it. It would be a very expensive solution. We're bringing down the cost of that high-end PCIe. Again, Samsung is really about mass adoption. We don't want just the elite to be able to use these products. We want everybody to take advantage of it. So that's what we're doing in that space. So what's really getting me excited is more not so much that high-end, high-performance PCIe. It's really about this new data center class NVMe SSD. We just talked about this yesterday in our keynote, the SM953. This one is taking all the goodness of PCIe and NVMe, but putting it in a very cost-effective solution. That's what I'm excited about. And that type of performance that we're talking about on this solution, 2.2 gigabytes a second of throughput on a very cost-effective drive, geared again for that SATA-like type environment. And so really trying to look at markets where you're going from traditional SATA, you want to go to higher densities, but you're limited by the performance of the SATA interface. That's preventing us from going to, for example, 2, 4, 8 terabytes while still maintaining that performance level that you expect on a per gigabyte basis. PCIe is enabling that. So it's allowing you to go to those higher densities at a very cost-effective price point. So 2.2 gigabytes a second on a very cost-effective drive. That's really talking about bringing performance to the masses.
Absolutely. And then you're also looking at incorporating NVMe from both sides. You have data center and client. How do you see the smaller form factors and the more standardization with NVMe? How do you foresee that impacting the market?
So all the different form factors? Yeah, so we really see 3 different form factors playing out here. So you have M.2 in the client space, you have 2.5-inch SFF 8639, then you have half-height, half-length, or add-in cards, traditional PCIe cards. Those are really the 3 plays we see. However, M.2 leaks a little bit into the data center as well, people getting creative and trying to come out with really dense solutions. But really, any of those solutions will work. It's really about what's best for you. They're all native PCIe, so it really is, you know, what fits best into your solution. We really see the 8639 or the 2.5-inch form factor being the more mainstream option, because it offers you that serviceability that you're used to with drive sleds. So, but what we need to happen though is for the server vendors to have more of these PCIe slots. That way we can help the deployment of that. Until that happens, until you start seeing more of those chassis, that's where half-height, half-length cards will play. So that, you know, either way, you know, Samsung plays in all 3 of those spaces. So we don't mind what you want. We just want to help you get to a faster spot and help you do it faster by giving you very cost-effective solutions.
So you're deploying multiple interfaces, multiple types of NAND into multiple markets. You guys have a pretty broad portfolio of flash solutions, and we appreciate you stopping by.
Yeah, thanks.